So what I've started to learn is that there's of course the first step of accepting Christ, but then actually walking with Him and becoming a disciple is a much longer process. It's more involved. There's a lot more to it. There's a richness to the relationship that's available to us with the Lord that doesn't necessarily happen immediately when we accept Christ.
The church doesn't do a great job of really teaching us how to become disciples. They want us to. They think it's a great idea, but they don't really teach us how to do it. And that's one of the things that the time that I've spent with John in the last year or so going over the 4 priority books has really helped me to understand.
The 4 priorities serves as a resource, or might even say a tool, to put in the toolbox of someone who's wanting to walk with Christ and understand that. If you've ever worked on something and you've gone to that toolbox and not found the right tool, the 4 priorities is that tool in the toolbox that a man or a woman or someone can go to and go, this is what it looks like for me to follow Christ. This is what it looks like to discover who I am and who God's called me to be.
I want to help men love Jesus. And so when I heard John's vision for ministry, it really attracted me.
If I've learned anything from John, is that being a Christian is not a passive activity.
It has been, more of a lifestyle and a backbone for me to have deeper relationships, again, with Christ, with myself, and with others.
A lot of us are intimidated by the idea that this may be disruptive to our lives. Are there really some things in my life that need to change?
We are called by Christ. I mean, this is a very active thing. I mean, Jesus changed the world in 12 minutes.
Building up leaders who will go out and spread the gospel and spread the word.
Disciples in the early sense, in Jesus' time, His disciples were learners and followers and reproducers.
Punky and John have really made an impact on my life because they have really held the Bible as the first and foremost their authority, and also just truly love God. And so they've come and walked alongside me and really cheered me on, built me up, encouraged me to really make disciples who will then go and make disciples.
I didn't really know what my expectation was to come into when I met with John. I just wanted to get a chance to know him better. But I walked out of there with a much clearer sense about what becoming a disciple really means.
You're a man who is walking with Christ, yet you've never taken the step to follow Christ through discipleship or being discipled. You're really missing out on probably the greatest opportunity that you could ever have of pouring into someone else and speaking into their lives and using what God has shown you to help walk with them through their lives.
We challenge you to do your part. You think about that. September 14th, North Texas Giving Day. Your generous giving would help us accomplish our mission at the Tolson Group.